Hello and welcome to another quick video on statistics. Today we're going to be looking at the stem and leaf. So what exactly is a stem and leaf plot diagram? Data can be shown in a variety of ways. As we've seen in previous videos, we can include graphs, charts, tables, and so on. However, a stem and leaf plot is a type of graph that is similar to a histogram, but it shows us more information. The stem and leaf plot summarizes the shape of a set of data or the distribution and provides extra details regarding the individual values. The data is actually arranged by place value. The digits in the largest place are referenced to as the stem, and the digits in the smallest place are referenced to as the leaf or the leaves. The leaves are displayed to the right of the stem. And the stem and leaf plots are great organizers for large amounts of information. So what exactly do we use these for? They are usually used when there's a large amount of numbers to analyze. A series of scores on sports teams, series of temperatures or rainfall over a period of time. Other examples include series of classroom test scores or age. So looking at our Excel spreadsheet, we have a range of age that we've collected from a survey. And we want to be able to identify and group the ages. So we want to see all the ages for those in their 20s, those in their 30s, those in their 40s, and so on. The stem, as we talked about, is the highest denominator here. So age, so anybody in their 20 is going to fall in this. It's going to have a leaf. Okay, 9 would be the leaf. So you'd see a 2 here and a 9 here. You would see a 2 here, and then you would see a 7 here for 27. And you would see a second 7 because there's two 27s, and so on. And this will show us our distribution of age population by age. So here's one way we can do it. I kind of started one here. One of the things we need to do is we need to be able to identify the stems. So we have this is going to be 20 something, and we can start this out by using a COUNTIF function. Okay, and simply what an COUNTIF is equals COUNTIF. Okay, we do a right parentheses. Actually, let's get rid of the right parentheses, and it actually counts the number of cells within the range that meet a given condition. So let's go ahead and do a right parentheses. Now we can do, what are we counting? We're counting our range. Our range is the ages. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lock these cells because this is a fixed range for the purposes of this discussion. Okay, now if I do a comma here, it's going to show us, okay, what's the criteria? Okay, now I need to make sure I'm looking for a criteria that is anybody who's 20 to 29, because I'm in the stems area of 2. Okay, so I'm going to do, that's 20 times 10. So that's basically anybody who is C5, which is 2, times 10, so that's 20, okay, plus 0. And that gives us anybody who's in the age of 20. Okay, if I hit enter here, I'm going to get 0. I don't have anybody who's 0. Okay, if I do, for example, if we're looking at how many people are 29, I can enter 9 here, and this is simply 2 times 10 is 20 plus 9, or 29. Enter. I have one person who's 29, and I can verify that looking at these numbers. Now normally we have a lot more numbers than this, but just for demonstration's sake, we can actually validate that we have one person who's 29. So what we end up doing is we end up doing a count if people are 20 or more. Okay, another approach we can do here is we can do a repeating function. Okay, so what I want to do here is I'm going to surround this with a repeat, and all repeat does is it repeats text given number of times. We use the repeat to fill a cell with the number of instances of a text string. So I'm going to do a repeat, open my parentheses, I want to repeat 9, okay, because I'm looking for people who are 29, okay, comma, the number of times, okay, so it's going to put 9 for however many people are 29. So if I look So all I do is run that, close my parentheses, and hit enter. It's going to put a 9. Now looking at STEM, this would be 2, 9 would be 29. Okay. Now if I was to look at, we know we have a couple 27s here. If I was to enter a 7 here, so this would be looking for anybody in this range that is 27. It's C5, which is 2, times 10, which is 20, plus 7 is 27. So it's going to say count all the people who are 27. And I need to change the repeating, because I'm going to do 7, because I'm actually repeating 7 because I want to count everyone who's 27. Now I have a 2-7 for 27, another 2-7 for 27. Okay? So what we end up doing is we end up going through and then creating a huge macro here that ends up looking like this. And now we have a repeating thing. So we have repeat 0, where the count is this range, where the criteria is C5 times 10 plus 0. And then this ampersand here allows me to do, now I'm going to say now repeat 1 for those who are 21, and then so on. Repeat, put 2 here for those who are 22, 10 plus 2, okay? And so on. And I actually turned this font white. Okay. Now we should have a 24, 2 plus a 4, and a 2 and a 5. So we have a 25. We have a 2-7. And I have two 2-7s, so 2 27s and a 2 and a 9. Okay. So that works pretty neat, huh? So if I'm actually going to go ahead and throw this into the leaf here, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just copy this down. And there we go. Now we have our little distribution. We can see a majority of our people in our sample are in their 40s. We have a 40, okay? We have a 41, that's a 4 and a 1. We have a 42, and actually we have a couple people 42, okay? So this tells us a lot. Another really neat thing we can do here is I'm going to go ahead and do a copy here. Is instead of actually showing the numbers, we can actually show symbols. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do a count if. S, okay, as in Sam. And what this does here is I can say equals count if S, okay? And this counts the number of cells specified by a given set of condition or criteria. So instead of having to put all the conditions in of 0 through 9, so for 20 all the way through 29, I can do a series here. So I'm going to do count if S, open my parentheses. Now it's saying, what's your range? I'm going to say my range is this. Okay, it's A3 through A31. It's the same range here. I'm going to go ahead and lock this down so when I copy the formula it doesn't mess up my data. And then it's going to say, what's your criteria? I'm going to say, you have to put it in quotes, greater than or equal to, and my quotes, that's my condition, my ampersand, C2 times 10. And what this is saying is count if any number within this range is C12, which is 2 times 10, so it's 20. So count anything that's greater than or equal to 20. If I hit my comma again, we have a second range that it's asking for. Okay, well it's going to be the same range. All I'm going to do here is copy this. I'm going to go ahead and paste it. Now I got it greater than 20, but I want it less than 30, right? So all I'm going to do here is this. I'll count everything that is within this range, comma, the criteria is less than, okay, my ampersand, the stem plus 1, so that's going to be 2 plus 1 is 3 times 10, so that's 30. Greater than or equal to 20 and less than 30. Okay? I close my parentheses. and I hit enter. Now, according to this, there's 5 conditions. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a 24, 25, 27, 27, and a 29-year-old. Okay, so we're confirmed. So how do we interpret this to the leaf? This is where we can have the repeat function. Okay, again, remember, we can repeat a value. I'm going to repeat an asterisk. Okay, and now this is going to be my number of times. Okay, so this should be 5 times, right? Here we go. So I'm just repeating asterisks. I copy this down. Notice we have the same type of format in our data as we did over here. We had 4 digits here, we had 7 digits here, and so on. Okay, this just gives us a distribution. This gives us a little more detail so we know exactly what the ages are in rank order, but we also can do it kind of a neat little trick here. And then if we don't need to know the specific ages, we just want to see the distribution of ages, we can do it this way. Okay, and I'm just kind of formatting this here and to kind of show you. If you want to get a little more creative, we can just go ahead here. We can go over to the format. Let's do a wingding. Okay. And there we go. And now I have envelopes. Okay. So I can do my distribution of age based on envelopes here. That's just one way of doing that. So there you go. From a high level, this is how you do your stem leaf. Really kind of a fun way of showing distribution of data. Thank you very much for watching.